Welcome, duelists! In this video, I'm going to show you how to farm almost every tribute monster playmat, using Guardian Angel Joan as an example. Let's get into the deck. First, activate the effect of IL Blood to special summon a zombie-type monster from your graveyard. That's the monster we want to farm. In our case, it'll be Guardian Angel Joan. But you might be thinking, what if the monster I want to farm isn't a zombie, which is exactly the case for Guardian Angel Joan. To solve that, we use the field spell Zombie World, which turns all monsters on the field and in the graveyards into zombie type. It's also important to remember that IL Blood is a Gemini monster, meaning that to use its effect, you'll need to normal summon it again while it's already on the field. To make sure we can repeat this process every turn, we need to send the Guardian Angel Joan summoned by IL Blood's effect to the graveyard each turn. That way, we can keep summoning it back using IL Blood every turn. To do this, we use the continuous trap, the regulation of tribe. Its effect lets you choose a monster type, and while it's face up on the field, monsters of that type cannot attack. The type you choose doesn't matter. What really matters is the cost to keep this card on the field. During each standby phase, you must tribute one monster to maintain it. In this case, the monster we'll tribute is Guardian Angel Joan. Also, keep in mind that the number of copies of the monster you want to farm is up to you. Of course, you need at least one copy, which can be included in your deck in one of two ways: having the card in your account, or using a skill that adds copies of the monster to your deck. The spell card, the Mask of Remnants, has the effect of shuffling itself back into the deck, which prevents you from losing by deck out. Next, we have Gift Exchange, which serves a very specific purpose: to give your opponent the card Localized Tornado. This is essential to prevent your opponent from losing by deck out. And since I mentioned Localized Tornado, it's worth noting that in Duel Links, duels have a maximum limit of 50 turns. So, if you go first, you need to win on turn 49. If you go second, you must win on turn 50. I also use Good Goblin Housekeeping, which lets you draw cards and return the ones you don't want in your hand, like the Mask of Remnants or the card your opponent gave you through Gift Exchange. Dancing Fairy and Shiny Black Sea Squatter can be replaced by any level 4 or lower monster with more than 1000 attack, mainly to protect your life points. Alternatively, you can replace them with draw cards to speed up the loop. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this deck farms almost all tribute monster playmats, but not every single one. So, I've made a list of monsters that can be farmed using this deck. If you're enjoying the video, make sure to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel. The reason some tribute monsters can't be farmed is that they usually have effects preventing them from being special summoned by IL Blood. In this list you can see the trap card Embodiment of Apophis. Although the deck cannot farm it, there is a strategy to farm the playmate easily. Just build an auto deck and put as many copies of Embodiment of Apophis as possible, and the auto duel will do the rest. Another reason this deck can't farm certain playmats is that, in some cases, the playmat requirement isn't to summon the monster 100 times, but rather to complete a different objective. For example, the playmats for Dark Magician, DM, and Blue Eyes White Dragon, DM, are obtained through missions in the DM world. There are also monsters whose requirement is to play 100 duels with the monster in your deck, which can easily be done by building an auto duel deck and adding a copy of the monster, or by using a skill that adds it automatically. And finally, there's a rather peculiar case: Jinzo. He negates the effects of two essential cards for this deck strategy: the continuous trap, the regulation of tribe, and the trap Localized Tornado. Pendulum monsters also cannot be farmed by this deck, as they go to the extra deck instead of the graveyard. Let's jump into the replay. Challenge a level 10 duelist. In my case, I chose Tia, since I consider her the weakest among the level 10 duelists. after 6 duels. I did it! Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel.